Thank you, guys. One more game before we have finished what, from an hours of work perspective, some call a hell week. From an amount of amazing PUBG to watch, it's been like the most amazing week because we've had so much good PUBG. We've also had tough PUBG. There's been whiffs, there's been potato aims, there's been bad rotations, but there's also been amazing both individual and team performances, both through the Nations Royale, both through like all the I don't think we can take one Wingman like set of teams and say this was the bad games, this was the good games. Every single group of teams, like every single lobby we've been through, has had moments where we've been completely mind blown.
Yeah, even the, like you'd expect the pro to be like a higher quality, and we do see that in terms of structure and strategy. Like we see a more cohesive playstyle, and open sometimes gets a bit messy, but it was still like we still had like individuals that just stepped up and just had blowout games in those groups. So it's been pretty crazy to see just like those individuals and some that we didn't necessarily expect to just step in and step up.
And the thing is that when I think that you get a false sense of hype expectation when you see pros play, because you see all these pros when they're streaming. Like a lot of these guys are streamers on a daily basis, and they'll go out into public games and they'll just dumpster everyone. And then you go, oh my god, these guys are so good. I'm so excited to see them play competitive, and they're going to do the same thing. I mean, they have that skill set to do so, but the other 64 people on the server do as well. I mean, it might not be as good as whichever one streamer you follow, but it'll be pretty damn close, and they just can't execute that. So whenever it does happen, whenever we do see that one team that goes up against another team, and on paper, they like one team might be a little better than the other, but they might be the same, and that one team just completely annihilates the other, even it says so on the screen sometimes, annihilated. You have to know how hard that is to do against a team that's the same caliber as yourself.
Yeah, the thing that doesn't happen in pubs is when you do those sort of pub strats where you just go for those gunfight after gunfight, I mean, you get punished. Like, you get third party because there are so many more people alive in the circle. Or you push into a team and that team knows how to shoot. So you lose a player, but then suddenly you're on your own. So, like, coming into this, it becomes so difficult to do, like, something like we saw WClick do on that Miramar game, where they just walked through, like, 6 different teams. Trying to do that against this caliber of players is impossible. Like, pretty much impossible.
Very suicidal to attempt, at least. Unless if you unless you want to get banned within a week, because I don't think anyone is able to pull those things off really under normal circumstances, at least. Yeah. We do have one more game coming up in just a short moment, but before that, I really want to take a look at that leaderboard, because I think even though we have WClick kind of out of the way, second down to, honestly, I think something along the lines of 12th.
It's going to be close.
It's up for grabs. I mean, we had 20 points all the way down from like the very bottom of the leaderboard to the top in terms of like money outside of first place. It's going to remain that way coming into this game because there were so many ups and downs and who performed well.
Yeah, I mean, that team in second place is coming into this last one thinking, you know, we've got 10,000, let's defend it. But they could be coming out of it with like 1,000, with like 500 because of how close this leaderboard is.
Roll down the leaderboard. It all depends on how they do here.
They've had 11 games to do well, but I mean, this 12th one needs to be good as well. I mean, we see Lamzoid finally stepping up, finally doing something good. But Bad Boys won the game before.
They won the previous game.
And then they come in with 11 more, and we saw them rocket up the leaderboard to our 6th place in the last game. So I'm excited to see just how far they've moved up once again.
And also a fun little fact for all of you guys now, if you didn't know, I mean, first of all, it's both LATAM teams and NA teams playing. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But we've also been swapping servers every single game from LATAM to NA servers. And today, every time we've been on a LATAM server, a South American team has won the game, and every time we've been on a North American server, a North American team has won the game. Whether that's coincidence or whether that's because of ping differences, I don't want to go out and try and explain. But we're on LATAM servers now. But you said Lampasoid this game, and I want to see if they can break the curse today. But now let's see Bad Boys 3. They find themselves in third. 61, 59, 58, 55, and look at the 40s. We have 7 teams in the 40s, and just the 30s is even, I mean, this is completely unpredictable.
And you know what surprises me is the gap between 16th and 17th. There's a 5-point gap there. That's actually quite substantial if you look at this leaderboard.
Yeah, but the teams that are in the money right now, it is absurdly, like, we're talking insanely close here. And now if the final game of EU was anything to go off of, because if you guys watched it, I don't have to explain it to you, but if you didn't, it was a melee game. And normally, I mean, melee games can be tough, sure, but they don't necessarily mean, chaos. It's not like it's the first military game we've ever seen.
It's always the end of the world, yeah.
It kind of was, though.
Yeah.
We
At
lost.
least for the top 10.
We had 20 players alive in Phase 4. I think we had something like 15 or 16 people get killed by bridge campers, which is also something you rarely ever see. It was just from start to finish a complete and utter chaos and anarchy game where there was no system, there was no rules, there was no nothing. Everyone just went full YOLO. And I'm very, very, very both skeptic and also scared to see where this circle might go, because with this playing path, it could pretty much. I mean, I have like a few options that could be pretty scary.
Let's go north. Give me a nice like dark
Saki
circle.
ending
Yeah,
the
just to
finish
screw with
day.
everyone.
No one's north of the river, so who knows? That could
Maybe
be
sort of
fun.
fair.
And we only have 2 teams on military as
Have we
well.
had a Stalby yet? In like all of Wingman so far, we had a.
I
had
don't
like
think we've
just
been
north
to
of the
Stalba
Asmar,
Kameshki. No, I don't think we've been up
but we've
there.
never been on the hill, so maybe we're going to go up there for the last one.
I don't think with this plane that it can go that far east. It could maybe go Stal, but not Kameshki. Like, it can't go all the way to the east coast, I don't think. But who knows? Who knows? I've been surprised by circles before. There's a lot of players around school and apps. I mean, that's like a rainbow of team logos. I have no idea why there are so many people there. Tony is like immediately just dipping in. Oh my lord.
again.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's literally the same circle.
Oh no, no. And Kodak with the shotgun he's trying to take. Oh, what is this? What has the world come to? This is a start. This is the start of the chaos. When you start off this type of game with a shotgun kill, you know that things are gonna go pretty damn chaotic. Stab and reload. They saw it. They read it. They knew it. And they are on the military side of things already. And Soit and Lambalot that you were talking about, they're sitting in Fairy Pier with a, well, right now at least, very doable rotation across that water.
And it's whether they go for that bridge camp there, because we saw Hello Senpai and Pin drop there in East Pro, and they decided to hold the bridge, and they went out really early, but with like 7 kills.
They did manage to rack up quite a few, yeah.
So I'm curious if I would expect they're going to go for the placement, like because you do tend to get kills as well, like they come with placement. So I expect they'll probably try and leave the bridge and move into a good position in the circle because they can. But there is still that possibility that maybe your Comets or your Hakaishin, I think it was, with the Belfrost wants to go for that. But I don't know what Belfrost teammate Vegas is doing. He's actually just fighting a different team.
Got a kill
About 400 meters to the north.
Yeah, no worries. Rip. Rest in peace. Oh, I thought we were going to do something fun with the spelling of peace. That's probably the word that I've had the hardest time in, like in learning English. Peace. Because you have peach and you have piece, like a piece of something. And there's like so many ways of saying a word that sounds exactly like it that is spelled completely different.
And we got peas as well.
Yeah, peas, like the small. Yeah, exactly. There's so many ways to mess that up. I never had a precision where it's like there and there and there and all those things. All this like your and all those things. It's just peace. That one buckled me throughout so many exams. I always got the big red line under it because I always spelled it wrong.
Yeah, we're a fun little language. But Lamp enjoyed it. It looks like they're setting up. Like I'm sort of looking at it, and Lamp doesn't want to move from the northern side. So if they're going to set up for a bridge camp for their final game, that's going to be a messy one.
If he was a wizard, he would have flown off that roof on a broomstick.
Zoomed.
Now he got teleported into the lobby screen.
Yeah, teleported into bed, but
teleported to bed.
Game, yeah,
feels bad.
I would like that.
I'm sorry, it's 7 o'clock, but you have to go to bed now because you could teleport there. So that's just how it is. Vegas, he goes out. He could only find one, and the Prisas is able to find the second. Sub-Zero does go down, and Yaxley now as well. They overcommitted on the rotation. They wanted the compound, and they... when you cross a bridge, you turn right or you turn left.
Yeah,
you do not go straight to the compound, especially not... that was a bad play.
Lamplot and Zoid have actually set up for the bridge camp. Whether I don't know whether they were just scouting south.
Are they on the bridge or under the bridge?
They're on it because they're in.
Lambalot, hello? Oh, they're on the. Oh no!
But he had a car.
That's not how you. That's not how you bridge camp. I think what happened was that they saw the other guys cross, heard all the shots fired, and they just said, "We have too much to risk here. There's simply too much on the line." And this is exactly what's happening when you do play these games. NA Lock is now holding off Rusty. It's going to be the next one to cross. Bada bing, bada boom, Broxo out and Redemption. They are racking up points. Oh, this is what you do. You put a gas can in the middle of the bridge, get it down to 1 HP.
That'd be sick.
That's a strat. That's a strat. I mean, you put 2 gas cans on the bridge next to each other, like with a little bit of space in between, shoot at them 4 times, so the next bullet, you explode the vehicle with the gas cans.
Yeah,
why has no one tried doing that?
At some point soon, I presume we're going to see spike strips as well. And
but I assume they're in the game,
no,
right?
They're not. They're not.
They're not in super settings?
You have to enable them on
the,
in the grenade spawns because it counts.
Why has no one done that with gas cans?
mean,
I never thought of it before just now.
that's probably
Also,
why I
I'm not
thought.
sure. I'm not sure whether the gas cans do enough damage. Like on their, I don't think their explosion is a full
It's
nade
not,
explosion.
it's not as good as a nade. No.
But if you have them lying next to each other, do they stack in damage?
Yeah. If you put a bunch
So if you
on top of
put
each
2
other-
gas cans next to each other on the bridge,
well, you put
and-
more than 2. You can put like 5. It's whether you
also
find them.
imagine
You have
if it
to
was
find them.
like like you couldn't run through the object.
It's just
So like
the
doing,
gas cans.
you use it as roadblocks.
Oh.
You made like a full maze of gas cans on the bridge.
But you know, in Milta, there's those sort of like plastic barriers.
Yeah,
Like the little.
yeah.
I can't remember
yeah.
they're called.
The cones?
No. The little wall things.
Yeah, the ones on the road that you block off traffic with.
Yeah, but they have a special. I want to say like Jersey blocks or something like that.
I wouldn't know.
They have a really weird name.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if you could pick them up and just put them on a bridge.
It's like if you could pull and that's the next thing. Pull and push objects
Oh yes.
in the game. Like
Just to screw with everyone.
big table, you come with me. Or like if you could flip table and like make barricades out of them, that would be another game. I think that would come in probably about 15 minutes after modding was allowed in the game.
It is a Jersey barrier. I got it right.
Jersey barrier.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I did a thing.
You did something. Victor did something as well. Adam eliminated, or at least not. There's the elimination on towards Damox and Alia. They were trying to get the vehicles, the water vehicles, aka boats, and Ganjohan and Toddy would not let that happen.
Yeah, I mean there are more things than boats in the water, so water vehicles sort of right, but I mean not in esports settings. So yeah, you're wrong. So
I'm always wrong.
you're always wrong. And
Birdie?
I was right. This game, I was right. I'm gonna mention that Jersey barrier. I'm proud of that one.
You're only right when I allow you to be. I don't know how that.
How does that
is.
work?
I felt pretty cool when I said it. Just give it to me.
That's one of those things.
Just give it to me.
In your head sounds good, and then it comes out. It's like, yeah, that wasn't.
I felt pretty cool when I said it.
Yeah.
It was one of the moments where I was like, damn.
And then you wish you could rewind time.
Oh no, I'm still
You
pretty,
committed
I
to
still
it.
feel pretty cool about it. Yeah, sometimes you gotta stand for what you say, and this is one of those, I'm owning it. Exactly. I was just gonna say I'm owning that moment. That was pretty cool.
In your moment.
Tony and Wooly, I think they're going around the top here to try and see if they can pick off some rotations, but unfortunately Cherry and Pinta, they're already going around, and I don't know if Ganjan and Tadix are opting to take that boat or if they're sticking around waiting for. Are they just waiting for other people to come and want that boat as well? I think that's going to be a long wait though.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a long wait, like a very long wait. It's like probably 5 minutes. But I don't mean to bang my own drum, but Lamplot and Zoid are in a nice spot.
I also want to mention how RDP is still sitting
still
waiting for people on that bridge.
I mean,
They're not done yet. They got 5 kills within like the first 3 minutes of the game.
It's already a really good game for them. And
Yeah.
like if they get 2 more kills and then just go into the circle, it could be an amazing one.
They're already in the top 10 in terms of placement points. Pretty much guaranteed no matter how the outcome of this game goes. Low kicks tried to go for the shots for the person to begin with. Now it just became more of a hit anything on the boat. But it seems to me like Agila will be able to get away. Nos muerte ni loco. XD.
This is where you probably just won on stream. So yeah.
What? No muerte means death, and loco means crazy, and nose means...
True. Yeah, that's true.
I want to say nose means nose. I don't doesn't, but that was the exact same spelling as nose in English. So it was a dead nose that was crazy. XD.
You've got a crazy nose.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that a compliment?
I mean, that's up for interpretation.
I feel like my nose is...
Oh, it's gone north. What
no!
Oh my god.
Oh no! It's gonna shift south again. Guys, remember, circle 4 doesn't have to go away from water.
You could go anywhere.
Oh no!
Could go anywhere.
Oh no! This game is so stupid.
Oh, no.
I mean, the game is amazing, but this match in particular,
For the
we're
last
trying
match,
to keep competitive integrity,
Oh.
and the game is just like, nope,
And
that ain't gonna happen.
Lazarus were in such a rough spot, still being in school so late and fighting. And
Cherry and Penta just got down here. Like they've been sailing for I don't know how long.
And luckily they didn't
finally
beach.
got here.
I mean, like I'm worried for like Lamplot and Zoid. They beached their vehicle.
Ganjohan and his team Tadix, they have like that's the shortest boat rotation I've ever seen. It's like Lipovka down to the shoreline south of Milta Power.
Oh,
Wow.
What
What was up with? Yeah, you were so proud of that spot that they had.
Yeah.
Right? What's
And
up with that?
It's going to shift right where they are, but they're going to get a kill.
In all fairness, at this point, they might be better off just staying. No, he's going to drown. At this point, he honestly might be better off just staying.
Yeah, I mean, they could go 1-1. Yeah, leave because when you swim
so
something like that, you have to be really nervous that someone's going to do exactly what Sonic's back doing, and pull up on the hill and try and catch those people swimming.
Yeah.
So if you send one across, and then worst case scenario, because they do still have a vehicle, I mean, I actually kind of want them to go for a bridge.
This is crazy. I love it, but I also kind of hate it. But
It's
I mostly love it.
As a neutral, it's amazing. Like, if you're playing this, you are hating.
You are very pissed. Unless if you're a team that's still on the northern side, to be fair. If you're on civils and purdy-curdy, you're like, well,
Yeah, you're
thank you.
But, I imagine many an angry letter are going to be sent to the devs.
Oh, I mean, you can't really. I mean, this could have happened in any game.
Yeah.
It's not even because of the lane rage. This could have happened anywhere. Joggy, one down. Waldo finds the other. They tried. They succeeded for a long time, and I believe they finished up with 6 kills as well. So in all fairness, Redemption, even though they might be out of placement points, it's still a pretty decent game for them.
And another team that's in a bit of a rough spot is AWD. They've got double click for company on the south side. If they could win that, 2 points, it's better than nothing. But they're a team that need to have a big game going into this, and it's not looking good. But they do get the knock.
They're not going to better their position because they're not going to get first place. But they do.
They'll
be able to try and maintain their second. Exactly. Silson has lost Kodak, and he's a little far away, so I would be surprised to see him try and make a hero play on it. Relo now caught in the open. He tried to make the YOLO push through, and they just had no idea that he was sitting down there, but wow, stab! Great 3-tap on towards Silson, taking out the first place team, but as I said before, unfortunately, I don't think they have what it takes to win this game, as they were about 40 points behind, and there is now only 31 players alive on the server. But still, 2 points. Snap might be able to stay put here for a while. If the server shifts back down south, he's in all kinds of joy. Penta finds himself a not-gonna flush on towards Beal, but there is still more players to be dealt with.
Yeah, I don't think at the start of today we were expecting a fight to be happening on this little ridge. But we've got a 2v2.
You never know. You never know.
And, Honk Hink is in a really rough spot.
I cannot call him Hink. You know why? You know, like when you were a kid and you like hop on one leg, skip, and like the numbers?
Yeah.
It's called skipping, right, in English? Or what is it called?
What you mean?
Like when you
hopscotch.
Hopscotch? Okay, in Denmark it's called a hink. Hink. So one hink is like the one jump.
Do you mean the thing where it's like
where you go on one leg? But yeah, whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
whoop,
that's
whoop,
hopscotch in the UK.
Yeah, that's hink in Danish. So he's just called hink from now on because he only has one leg. That's his
better.
story. That's his storyline.
He's a honker.
He's a hunk, but he hinks.
Lamp and Zoid are probably dead.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why don't they just take the T-62s on the beach and just wreck everyone?
Yeah. Just win. Yeah, I mean, it's simple as that.
It could be nice if there
Get
was
the
a
artillery
key.
going.
There was a key somewhere in the game.
I mean,
Just like flare guns, there's a key somewhere that works for one of the tanks, but it only works for one specific tank, and you have to find that one tank. Yeah.
I wonder if this is where the red zone comes from, all this artillery.
It probably is. I mean, not this one right here, but I mean, if they all of them shoot in the air at the same time,
Quick
there's
question.
a pretty good chance.
Why is the artillery on the beach facing the land?
Because that's how far they got when they tried to pitch it.
Yeah, but you don't, it's like it's in fortifications, like behind sandbags. It's pointed the wrong way.
You know, I mean, there are questions that I think you should
Ask
give
the devs?
to the to the Korean developers. Maybe Korea hasn't seen that much artillery during the Cold War. I don't know. I mean, that's where this is supposed to take place. I don't know.
I mean, the Korean War had a lot of artillery.
Maybe not. Maybe that's.
That was a long time ago.
Maybe
to be fair.
Maybe that's why the war went as it did for some. Maybe it's because the artillery was pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean,
the sandbags were placed. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different options. I don't think we should go too much into politics in that regard. But maybe it's just. It could be multiple reasons. I don't know. It's maybe it's just the creative freedom. Maybe it's a sign to go against the war. It's placed up wrong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lamp and Zoid. Oh, my voice. Oh,
good thing it's the final game. Good thing it's the final game. In all fairness, we have been through quite a.
I'm back.
I mean, I'm somehow normally I'm the one that gets like I'm patient 1 or patient 0, whatever you call it. I'm actually patient 1 more because I always get infected by someone else.
I was patient 1 this time.
Yeah, so the fact that I've been up here in Stockholm almost for 13 days. And with the little sleep that we have and our immune system probably screaming for vitamins these days, I'm actually surprised I haven't been sick. Knock on wood.
Well, I mean, if you get sick now, it's not the end of the world.
It is the end of the world. I cannot be sick.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't have time for that. And I always get sick at Christmas. Like every single year, I get sick around Christmas, and I do not this year.
Whilst we got a bit of a lull, Hayes got me ill. If anyone was wondering while I was away.
Oh, it's Hayes' fault. Everyone, yeah.
And what did he say when I said it was his fault? He blamed his girlfriend. He said it was her fault. Where is she? She's not.
Now you're just ratting him out full time. You're going complete and utter snitch on him.
Yeah. So Becky, if you're watching, he blamed you.
Oh wow! I thought you'd backstab him to that extent.
Well, it's happened.
You just ruined their relationship. How do you feel about that?
It's because he doesn't play duos with me.
He's gonna leave him now because
if he played duos with me, I wouldn't have called him out. There we go.
That's toxic.
Yep.
See, that's
It's karma. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was. I heard Hayes say positive things about you, but I'm not sure he's gonna. I'm not sure he's gonna ever say that again. I mean, he's.
I like to speak my mind.
He's a hurt man now. He's a hurt man. You just ruined him.
Oh, he's a ruined.
Stab gets the circle. Nope, he doesn't. I mean, Zoid gets the circle. To be fair, but Stab. Do you get a boat from Cherry and Benson? Do they come to pick you up?
Let's go. Give him a lift.
Your Uber has arrived. Your naval Uber. Wait, he actually... Oh, they almost beached that boat. Zoid is dead, by the way.
Oh, Lampozoid went down. No.
They
It was surviving so long on the south, but
Stab is shooting at them from the shoreline. That's going to be two very good kills, and he gets them both. I think that's a yippee, and now I'm dead.
No, he's going to find some meds and hope for the best. I mean, he could actually swim that in time.
Yeah, it's phase 4 closing in.
If he runs across the coast, he can actually swim in.
That's going to be real close.
He can make it, but it's whether he gets to where Lampozoid died and just dies as well. But we should be able to get a placement point if he starts swimming very soon. Like, he
in
needs
all
to run
fairness, he might be better off just staying in the blue.
He's got the vehicle, so he's going to use that to get closer.
Why didn't he just take the car on the shore, like up on the hills, and fly it into the water instead?
Well, I mean, the hills are the wrong side.
Wait, he has a boat?
Where'd he get that?
Where did you get a boat from? He just blew it up.
Was there a beached boat that he rammed, maybe?
Oh, that could have been. He tossed the boat into the water. Smart man, Danish men, smart people, big brains. I like to see it.
That's why NA pays him the big.
And now
bucks.
he gets killed.
Yes,
actually, he might not. It's only Waldo and Sharky is over here, and they should. Yep. There's the recognition.
Little twitch.
Did I hear something over there? I think I did. And I don't think there's anywhere for Stab to get up other than on the shore around the corner. Yeah, exactly. So he should be.
But it is very hard to look down, and Sharky can't really push around because they'll get taken out by Sonic Flak. So for now, I mean, he might be able to survive a little bit longer, just because they can't do anything about it.
True. It's all a matter of how greedy Stab is in terms of trying to get onto the shoreline, because I'm pretty convinced that Sharky and Waldo will commit something to try and flush him out if he does get around the corner.
Yeah, I expect he's just going to stay as far away from them as possible, just to try and survive, because he's getting very close to the placement points. Because when you're into that top 20, that's when you know roughly the placements.
He's getting up.
How's he done that?
Stab is actually, you can get up there. Huh.
I mean, the more
Wait,
you know.
what's the? Oh yeah, okay, I see it.
I genuinely did not know that existed.
No, that's why you're not a pro. I knew, I just didn't want to tell you. Kappa.
Big Kappa.
That's interesting. I don't think they expect him to be there either, so you could actually get a surprise. A limit of surprise thrown over towards Waldo, and Stab, another element of surprise went in the face of Victor.
It does sort of feel like Waldo's
completely
nervous. Like, he's looking that way. Sharky's focused on the north, but Waldo is just permanently looking south.
3x M249.
It shreds.
I can tell. He just got a Nate flush and a knock with a big machine gun, and now let's see what more he can get. He's going to push up towards Creston.
It's going to be a fun little fight, but he's on his own, so he needs to do a lot of work solo. But he's running into a solo. There's very low HP. But once he gets over this ridge, like, there is nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's going to be massively exposed, as you can see already. Bullets. Is that bullets going towards him? I can't really tell if it was just a weird flare.
That was to Kristen, because that's why he was
it just
low.
looked like it was flying past his face.
Well,
it's Tony shooting over his head. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's shooting into the smoke.
Yeah. Makes sense then. Snap is like, remember guys, phase 4 doesn't have to go away from water, so we could go right back on the beach. Just FYI, don't get scared away from the fact that this circle might be absurdly horrible for everyone, but keep in mind that it does make it more fun for you guys to watch.
Nope.
Oh, that was as generous a shift as this game could provide for you. You should all spend a little time praising the fact that...
Praise Brendan.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that he was generous with it. I mean, in all fairness, every single circle up until this point has been absolutely horrible. Yeah. So I guess it's only fair that we get one decent one to finish.
Have the odd one every now and then, where it's nice.
Tony found Christim. That should be the info for Balefrost, that there's no one at least right next door. And he does have a bike. Doesn't exactly make him invisible. Imagine if your bike also got a ghillie suit on, if you had a ghillie suit on. That'd be something.
You just get it caught in the tires, when you caught in the chain, and then like rip your bike apart.
You just get like a big lawnmower.
I imagine if there was a lawnmower in the game, you could ride around with it. That'd be sick.
Yep.
It's the most useless thing in the game. Oh, there we go.
You shoot at me, I shoot at you. That's a nice shotgun.
You just picked it. I think you tried to pick up the smoke, right?
Yeah, that's why you don't. That's why you don't use F to loot, especially not mid and late game. Fortunately, no one was pushing him there because it did take him a solid couple of seconds to loot. Now Stab is swimming. I don't know if Sharky and Waldo would be aware of this. You can see Shark is, I think he's looking around for, like, wasn't there? There was a boat down there, I'm
He's
sure.
going to take the old Lampersoid position.
Yeah, but there's no reason not to. There was no one on the other side now, so we can play pretty exposed towards the south, which means that the fortifications, despite the artillery pointing the wrong direction, actually will come in pretty handy in terms of cover for him.
The spirit of Lampersoid lives on.
Yeah.
But the north is getting very congested now, isn't it? I'm looking at this. 5 of our 12 teams are on the southern side of the road. The other 7 are like right next to each other on the north. So it's getting a bit messy. And I expect if this circle does come south, we all of a sudden will be in like top 4 teams.
Yeah, I mean, this road is going to be the deciding factor of this circle. Oh, Sharky does spot stab in the water. He can continue a little further on, but now for Sharky, I mean, they know there's one guy down there. That could just as well be 2. Do they play with their back turned towards him now, or do they need to tunnel down towards him? Because they can't really push down towards the beach, given the fact that Taylor and Patcaps are holding from the other side. So they're pretty much forced to stay on this edge right now. They didn't bring any vehicles around, I think. Did they bring vehicles around? Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, we're literally sitting on a US. I just didn't see it.
It was inside the smoke.
Yeah, exactly. I just did not notice it.
Well hidden. But did it actually lose a tyre? I'm not quite sure.
You're seen.
Yeah.
Ow, 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 ow.
See it.
He tried.
He got a placement point. So, and also he got those kills as well. He blew up the boat. Got a good.
Some might argue that he tried so hard, but
killed both a W kick as well.
Yeah, I think that's a 5-point game. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think that's enough to maintain second place. But at the same time, we do still have Patcaps and Taylor in the game.
Yeah, we've got a lot of teams still up that were sort of close. So, and it does go south. So this is really nice for Pat and Taylor.
Yeah, Pat and Taylor, they loved this. And also, Staff, had he been alive now, it's like, come on, man.
If Lamperzoid was still up,
there would have been all kinds of people with
but
this.
Like that position that they're playing, it only works if there's not a team on the east or west.
True.
And that is why both Stab and them died.
You can actually, if you get further up towards the center tanks,
then
you can actually prone in between them. Then you just become like one big magnet for nades later, because it's really hard for you to really peek anything too, so you can't really hold people away, and then,
I mean, you're sort of relying on the compound to protect you. Like,
oh, no, don't.
Indirectly, and you shouldn't. Yeah.
Never rely on anyone to do anything for you. I think that's the main rule of competitive PUBG. Never take for granted that any team will do anything you want them to do.
And you just get where like they spot a snake on the north and they both start shooting at it, and then like
exactly
a push that you should never have happened just happens because they weren't looking.
Yep. Elliot does go down, so that's their team eliminated. Cream Captain has made his way forward as well. Keenan now finding some kills as a flush on towards Pomme. Priestess is all by himself. Captain does go down to Waldo, so we are seeing some of these northern teams trying to push south, getting themselves eliminated. And Uncivil alive in this match as well. We have, just in general, I guess we can say ex-Lazarus team have been through quite a tough stretch through these finals, and who knows? Maybe Uncivils can turn it around here in the final game.
Yeah, they're not in the worst position in the world. Like,
it's not last place. Just it's been pretty tough for them.
Yeah, it's not what you'd expect, I think is a fair way to say it. If they can turn this into like a top 5, I don't see a way Uncivil does that.
Yeah, I think it's
on this. But if he somehow survives... I mean, so how's that nade?
But it does mean that he has to go, okay, if there's a nade landing on my feet, there's got to be a guy at some point, like somewhere near me.
Yeah, but he's nading him.
Wait,
it's actually on.
Lord, that's a great... Did he throw it through the window too?
Yeah,
he threw it through the door.
No, he threw it through the window.
There's no broken windows. What do you mean?
But like the arc was through the window, so... we see the trail.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It was through the window, so maybe it's just a spec bug, but
could be.
Normally is.
Could be. Sharky, Waldo, they're alive and they're inside the circle, but they're not exactly in the best position. Unless if that next circle does shift down towards them, because then everyone else will have to shift out and away from hardcover. I think, honestly, in terms of mobility and how much room they have to maneuver, Taylor and Patcaps is in a really good spot, because as long as that compound on the northern side is out, they don't really have any threats to the north other than Tony, of course, and I don't think they're aware that he's there. But do see Taylor look... he looks quite a bit up north.
Tony was shooting earlier, so...
But wasn't that from the other side of the road still before he crossed over?
Yeah, but if you keep a track, you should know there's some... Like, you should expect...
Yeah, you'd expect him to cross that direction. True.
That's where he should go.
Oh, crawl in.
That's a Taylor J circle and a half. It's gone literally hard shift onto them.
Yeah, that's... oh, ow.
Get tickled.
And thus, half the wall disappeared out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, Priestess was completely exposed. Yep, Keenan finds the kill. Only 2 for Tickleton and Keenan. It was a complete and utter Sonic's Black group stage. So good that Tickleton didn't even have to play one of the days. And for some reason, they just haven't really been able to find the same magic here in the finals.
Yeah, but they're finally sort of coming alive, but it's a little bit too late to get up into the really higher echelons. But a win here, and they could still be in the top 6. Because they were in the top 16 coming into this. They weren't that far away. So, like, if this is a big game for them, there's a potential for them to rocket up the leaderboard.
They're not out just yet. You can see Taylor and Pat Caps using their vehicles for cover. They don't have too much to play around other than that, but the position itself is pretty damn good. And they're getting a bit of help from Keenan trying to hold off players down towards them. Now he does find Nabal on the northwestern side. That wasn't really a threat to them, but you can see the Civils. He's actually pushed all the way around on the northern side. He's going to be pushing down behind Tony. And Tony's inside the shack, not wanting to do anything right now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a calm before the storm circle right here, as everyone's sort of got their position. You know, Uncivil's the only guy that really needs to find a way in. I think he's just going to snake on the north because no one's looking. So I expect we're going to see a bit of a quiet one here, and phase 8 where it's going to explode into life.
I mean, we have 9 players alive at 26 minutes. Yeah. Normally, I mean, we've seen worse. We've seen 9 players alive at like 20 minutes, but I like the aggressiveness from Taylor and Padcaps, because the more aggressive they go now, the more info they gather coming into the final. Oh, you just jumped into the
And also, if they can find a way to clear out their side, like we see with W-Click, that's why they were so successful, is because they cleared out their area. And then suddenly you're able to move. You know, you're able to walk around and get angles. And then as soon as the team leaves these compounds, if like Tony V's dead and they can push one player around, then suddenly, like, there's no way out of that compound.
Yeah, I think this next circle is extremely telling of who might end up winning this game, because as you can see, everyone is very comfortable right now where they are. But as soon as one team has to move, that's going to force another team to fight. That's going to force a third. Like, that's just going to cause a chain reaction of engagements that could potentially be the end of the game. Did Winder just Molotov himself?
Well, that's a nice circle for the players in the compound, isn't it? It's pretty much left this house in. So once they can clear out Winter, if they can, then you have to think Sonic's Black are the ones in the good position. King's going to go for it.
Wait,
yeah, she snuck past.
He got out.
They have no idea. They have absolutely no idea.
He ran through his bullets. Like, he pretty much ran through his barrel and sat in the corner. They heard the door open. He's going to vault out on the backside. Now, that they probably didn't hear. Keenan could be caught completely off guard now.
Does he know?
He has no idea. There's no way he knows. There's no way he knows. All the bullets are hitting the side. And on the roof is Tiggleton, able to get him down to low HP. Finds the kill as well just before he gets the vault inside.
But the flush does come in, so what looked like a really good game for Sonic's Black suddenly is down to a solo and down to sort of trying to survive.
Oh, Uncivil from the side, not able to find him, but Taylor does go down. That's Sharky. They push her on the side. One was down already, and somehow Uncivil has gone from a game where they didn't really have anything going to now finding 5 kills in the end game. Finds Tiggleton as well. He's going to be taken down. Oh, great shots from Tiggleton. And now, the final find. Rumstorm against the, the group stage dominators in Sonic's Black. And we're in an SA server, and it's going to be an NA winning team.
Yeah.
So,
the curse was broken.
Curse has been officially broken. I mean, technically it's an Australian. Isn't Tiggleton from New Zealand? I don't remember.
One of the two.
Yeah. We cannot say same, because then we offend a lot of people.
Almost the same, but not quite.
Yeah. Same continent.
Yep. Same language.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then it's same if you're British too, right?
Yeah, but Australian had like it, and New Zealand. Kiwi.
I think if you ask them and you say that the New Zealand accent is the same as Australian, then you're gonna be a hated man.
It's much more similar than it like English and Scottish. Like,
well, obviously.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, to us at least. To them, they can probably tell the difference. And we have like different accents in Denmark, and to everyone's just like anyway. So.
I can guarantee you, like half of England can't understand like full Scots. It's ridiculous.
Oh no, really? I mean, I know. I've tried. Yeah. I've tried to understand it.
They love a good Scottish accent.
You wouldn't understand them when they're drunk. It's kind of strange. It's
even
it's out. It evens it out. When you're drunk too, you kind of get the link of it.
Yeah, but that's because you start like speaking like them.
Tiggleton, how do you do this? You need to land the most brutal double headshot in the universe to have any chance of doing this. But then again, if there's any player who could potentially pull that off,
says him.
I'm thinking Tiggleton might have a chance. But he's like 1 second away. He's rolled it out. He's miles out in the open. This should be death.
Yeah, if he can get the knock-on strike, I mean, he does have the smoke he can play around, but those nades are coming in, and he might be able to get the drop onto one of them.
Did you hear him push around? I mean, every single second that passes by, they can eliminate something, but Tiggleton finds the knock-on towards the first player. Now it's Sharky, and he's out in the open. Sharky's completely caught off. Tiggleton, 1 HP, and a hope and a dream to be able to pull this one off. But look at the sideline. He has no time to, and he does it anyway. He peaks with 4 HP and gets the win. What?
And I said I wanted them to do well, and they finally turn up in the last game. And that could be enough to push them all the way up to like even second place. That was a massive game, a massive clutch by Tiggleton, a 6-point clutch that could be worth thousands of dollars.
Tiggleton knew that he was going to be exposed
so
by vaulting over the wall. But he also knew that when vaulted over, he can buy like 5 or 6 seconds. They will have to leave their cover of the one tree they had and the ridge line. So once he's on the downhill slant, he will have the cover on the other side to play from. Played it to absolute perfection. In all fairness, Shark should probably have killed him like 15 times there, but holy cow, what a way to end, again, a very clustered final game of a tournament.
Yeah, but what we normally see in that sort of situation is where the guy that's behind the wall hops over at the last possible second, and that's exactly when the player like Sharky would peak.
Yeah.
And instead, Sharky stopped peaking and just waited for those couple seconds, and that's exactly when Tiggleton struck and just started moving.
At 4 minutes, Redemption had 5 kills.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's pretty nifty. I mean, pretty good pickup in a very, very interesting game. I mean, from start to finish. I mean, this fight with double click, the first place and second place teams squaring off, and just a triple tap from Steph to get the return kill right after. On Civils as well, great play by him as a solo.
Yeah, but like in EU Pro, we saw a lot of the teams right at the top go out fairly early. WK went out early. AWD went out early. And those teams sort of like the 7th, 8th positions, they're the ones that survived. We had Lazarus, Sonic's Black, 2 teams that were not as like right up the top, but they were close enough that a big game there could have won it. And I mean, the fact that Lazarus were able to snake so far, we saw on Civil do so well, I think they might have climbed quite far up that leaderboard.
That is insane. I mean, the fact that Tiggleton wins that.
What was that nade by Uncivil?
That was good.
It was lovely. Absolutely beautiful.
Very, very good. I like the replay. It's just the outplays. I mean, this is the Sonic's Black that we saw in the group stages. Just dumpstering people. That headshot right there seemed a little weird. As if the knock came in after, and then re-peaks it. I think he ticked up from the booster from 3 to 6 HP. He knew, blue is on my back, I'm not going to have time to heal. These guys have been in the open for a while, but I think they still have nades. If he goes down to heal and becomes stale, he will completely lose info on where Sharky was. He knew he had him in the open. He knew that Sharky was on a type situation. He knew it's crouched. I mean, you do not get a better lineup on a shot than that. Went down, repositioned by just like a meter, gets back up, takes him out, or like 3 feet. Sorry, guys. You know, numbers and stuff in Britain and in the UK. You don't use feet, do you?
Yes, we do.
Oh, so weird. 99% of the world is looking at you like...
Yeah, we use meters as well. Like, we do both, basically.
There you go. You're accepted.
We just do everything.
Americans, it was a meter. He rotated a meter. Look it up if you don't know how far it is. Was that disrespectful?
How many feet are in a meter?
I think it's 3.
What?
Wait, there's...
No, because I'm 180-something centimeters, and
and it's like maybe 3.5.
3 and a bit.
Because I'm 6'5", and I'm almost 2 meters. So...
Yeah.
Let's go with 3.5 foot.
Maths on stream is never a good idea.
In any case, it was a very, very impressive 1v2 from Tiggleton. We are just going to wait for a little while. No, we're not. We're actually going to go straight into the leaderboard. Let's take a look at how that final game unfolded. And of course, also take a look at the final leaderboard. Sonic's Black, 17-point game for them. Lazarus, second. Rumstorm, third. Full on NA up there in the top. We actually have to go quite a far down. I believe we have to go all the way down to 7th. For Yeah Gaming, we had top 6 of NA teams.
On an SA server as well.
Exactly.
And we were talking about at the start how NA and SA have sort of dominated their lobbies tonight. And it was complete opposite of this one.
Let's see the final scores. W-Click, as expected, almost 100 points. And we have a tie. A tie in second. Bad Boys 3 and Broxo. It's going to be Bad Boys, though. The kills are the decider. 33 kills, tied at 60. And then AWD 1 point down. All the way down the list, we have 1 point further down to Iasguri. I mean, oh my lord, this is so damn. Goes on Lazarus, on Civils, makes it into $150 by a single point. Rest in peace. Team Singularity out by 1 point. Wildcard out by 2 points. Wow.
I mean, that is one of the closest leaderboards I've ever seen.
Wow.
Sonic's Black's final game, I think they got 16 or 17 points. Like, if they didn't have that, you're looking at them not even being in the top 16.
They jumped from outside the money to $1,700, and they already had $3,000 from the group stage qualifying.
That's a chunky stack of money. I'm loving that from them. But I mean,
that's absurd.
I still feel like they should have done better based on their group stage performance. They were dominant. They were by far the best team in NA, and it didn't quite show that in the finals. But they finally turned up in that last game. And I mean, that big win, the big clutch by Teagleton has pushed them so far up the leaderboard.
What a hell of a way to finish off what has been probably the best 2 weeks of duo PUBG tournaments I have ever witnessed. I've been through a lot of these Wingman series, and believe me, from start to finish, adding the pros of the EU side of things, we already had the pros from the NA, but adding just, I mean, the quality of this has just risen and risen with every single Wingman we've had. I would be very surprised to not see a Wingman 10. I have not heard it confirmed, so don't take my word for it, but I truly hope and expect there to be a 10th season, the Wingman X.
Yeah.
It also just has a good ring to it, right?
Wingman X. It's going to be a big one as well.
It would. I hope so. I mean, I truly hope it will be. But guys, we are going to stop here. We've been through so many things. One thing that we're not done with just yet, though, is the Nations Cup. Or Nations Royale, I should say. Sorry, Nations Royale. It's going to be on the 21st and 22nd of December, and we're going to have all the team captains from some of the countries flown in here to fight each other in Stockholm. I mean, not actual fighting each other, but you know, like in video games and stuff. Well. I hope not. but to square off against each other, 21st and 22nd. More info will be coming in about it, so do make sure to follow on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow Hayes and D-Man on Twitter as well. Great casters we've had the pleasure of working alongside. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I know I have, and I think I can speak on Saint's behalf as well when saying that it's been a true joy over the last 12 days to cast all these tournaments. Huge congratulations to all our winning teams, to everyone who didn't win. You know what? As I said, I am very, very hoping for a 10th season. So, qualify.
And better luck next time.
And for those of you guys watching, the open qualifiers are literally open. So sign up, play.gll.gg. That's where you want to watch. And if not, go follow all the social medias for more info. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself an amazing day and an amazing week.